That's really good, that
That's
banner you've
us.
got, yeah. That's us, we're
It's all right.
live.
So that's us, we're live. So hi everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. I'm running with Stephen, and tonight we have Ryan Hill, the epic trail runner. Ryan, do you want to introduce yourself a wee bit?
Yeah, so I'm Ryan, I'm 34, just been running and trail running for a few years now, but mainly for last year. Live in Sheffield, so bang next to Peak District, so it's absolutely ideal for trail running. So yeah, it's brilliant, loving it.
So I have got to say, like, I'm pure Scottish, like pure Glaswegian. So if anybody can't hear me, I don't know what I'm saying, then it's probably better putting the subtitles on.
Yeah, I think it's for my Yorkshire accent as well. try and tone it down a bit.
Thank God YouTube does subtitles. So Ryan, it's funny you should say that. We're actually nearly the same age. I know it probably doesn't look it, but I'm 33.
Yeah, I'm 34. 34
I
looking
seen that
44.
last week. So anyway, last week, sorry. So you're wearing the VXS top there, Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but I'm a VXS ambassador as well.
Oh yeah, I've got cap as well.
Both is that right?
Just been to the gym. Yeah, they're a great band. Fit.
Nice. So if you're looking for, I don't really use VXS anymore, but I know Ryan, you promote it quite well, don't you? And you like it stuff. I do wear the shorts and stuff like that. But if you're wanting to and you want to check out Ryan's discount code and stuff, just head out to your Instagram.
Yeah. If you pop onto my Instagram, there's a discount code in there, which is Ryan H.
Yeah, I have put a wee link in the description just down below for your Instagram, Ryan, my Instagram, and a few others that we'll get to. But Ryan, so what got you into running, like just in general? Did you start at running, or did you? How did you get into trail running?
It's trail running where literally just been a year, to be fair. So I boxed for many years down at a famous boxing gym in Sheffield called Brendan Ingall's gym. So I sort of always kept a sort of relative fitness going. And then we got into lockdown. I would put on furlough. You know, times are a bit grim at that part of my life, I would imagine. So I just sort of thought, right, well, we'll go out for a run. And I think the first run that I actually did was I don't know if anybody can remember it, but there were 5K for care workers, and you donate £5. I don't know if you can remember that. That was last year. That was literally like the first sort of major run back. I mean, forward 12 months, and I was doing National 3 Peak, so it's excelled quite a lot in a year. But yeah, it's literally just that. I were a little bit out of shape, sort of going through a bit of a rough patch. So I turned to running and made it. You know, I've done a few challenges along the way. And then from from roads, having lived like so close to Peak District, it's like 20 minutes away. I just head out there, start finding a few routes, and it just went from there really.
So did you train for any of these challenges? Because I know obviously you train just now, like mental. Absolutely crazy training you've got just now.
It literally is all just mental. It's a mental game with some of them, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, like in terms of training, I didn't particularly have a structured training program because I was running so much. I was doing a lot of intervals. Sheffield's just a massively hilly city, so it's probably Glasgow same or what's it like around there?
As I've got massive hills, like 8 miles, within 8 miles now.
They're crazy, aren't they? Yeah.
You're absolutely making me want to start trail running. Definitely very soon.
Yeah, so I kind of started obviously on hills of Sheffield into Peak District, and I just sort of kept a really, really decent structured sort of running regime, I suppose. They weren't particularly training for an event. It'd be right, I'm at a decent level of fitness. Something would crop up, some charity event that I'd fancy, you know, like NHS or something. And then literally just sort of plan it 2 weeks away and just throw myself into it. So, but it all does come from obviously maintaining a really good sort of level of fitness to start with. So, like I said, I've only started at sort of 5K, you know, like I said, over what can only be 16 months ago now. And I was struggling around it, and then just the love for it, I suppose, has kind of carried me through, and I just carried on.
It's funny you should say that, Ryan, because last January I started running. It was like came New Year, and I was like, "Look, I'm going to start getting to running, go back to the gym." And at first I was running the treadmill, and then I started. Like, the lockdown came, and I thought, I'm going to give this running on the road a start. But again, like yourself, I was really struggling with like 5K times. I think my 5K was maybe like 32 minutes or something like that. So like
It's great.
yourself, I really struggled with it to start with.
Yeah, you do, and I think when you enjoy it, I think especially the first part of running, I always find that you beat your time by quite a bit each time, and it gives you that sort of
like weekly
that boost. Oh, you're honestly ridiculous, to be honest. Every time I come on Instagram, it's PB.
That's probably why Running Man Sam calls me PBs with Stephen.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is. Every morning I get to work. I arrive 10 minutes early. Flick my Instagram open. You see your face. Get in PB, and I'm like, oh, crazy. It's really inspiring to see.
That's usually after night shift, you know what I mean? So it's like in between getting the kids ready for school. It's finishing night shift at 7, getting the kids ready for, doing my run, getting the kids ready for school, and then getting to bed after it now. So it's a vicious circle.
It's absolutely great. We always get it in though, don't we? You've always find time for running.
We've got Running Man Sam here. That's him there. Hey guys, trying to watch between work. Natalie,
that's dedication.
Hi to you both. Hi Sam, listening to these headphones. This is Sam's podcast for tonight. So in terms of improvement, Ryan, how far would you say you've come for like your 5K time or 10K time or half marathon time? How far would you say you've came in that 16-month period?
Yeah, so in the 16-month period, I was running sort of 5 kilometers in about 28, 29 minutes. Now I'm running at about 18 minutes 13, I think, 5K.
18 minutes 13. So sorry to stop you there, right? But see if you've checked out Running Man Sam's YouTube. He done a live with Matt Runs UK. Have you heard of him?
Right, yeah, I think I've seen him.
I think between like yourselves, Sam and Matt, I think the three are really sort of in the same sort of weight category and sort of condition. And Matt's running like an 18-minute 5K as well.
It's really hard, to be honest. For me I couldn't sort of keep that pace going for 10K. I think my 10K time's about. I'm sure it's about 40 and a half minutes, maybe. I think something like that. It's really difficult.
I think that's where
you know about it.
So I've been watching I've been watching Matt's like training video, and he's doing the same. He tried to get a sub 38, and like he failed just there, and then it got slightly progressively worse. But now he's keeping on trying, and I've watched the video of him running, and it's hard to watch. It's tough to watch because you see him literally putting himself through the paces as such.
So you know what I mean? Definitely. Yeah, it's so difficult. I mean, my running style, I look like I'm running on rails, if I'm being quite honest. It's terrible, but it seems to work for me and it's comfortable, but I look like I'm on tram tracks. But it seems to work. But I think like once you get into a bit of trail running as well, you kind of sort of stop worrying about them times too much and you kind of start enjoying where you are. So it's now really good to mix it up. So like on a Saturday or something, I might head out to Peak District. And then sort of my evening runs or whatever. If I've only got time for a 5K, then I can put a bit of I can put my foot to metal a little bit with it, but keep it local. Yeah, so
for me, since coming back to this injury, it's really taught me something. Like, and I know that I spoke to you through the injury as well, and I know how hard it was for myself now. But see now, like running at 8-minute miles, it feels comfortable for me. It's what I could probably class as kind of a race pace just now. But I know what you're saying in terms of like just going up the mountain or running up the peak and just no caring about time, because that's literally where I'm at just now. Like I don't feel like I'm really worrying about time, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think sometimes you can sort of bog yourself down with times, and you can you can keep looking at your wrist, and then if you're behind early on, it sort of puts
sorry.
you back
My back eye.
I don't know if it's still there. Carry
I
on
am
anyway.
here.
Yeah, well, if you run trails, that just don't look around by such good.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's quite a relief sometimes when you sort of head out to Peak District or to any trail run and just actually stop looking at your time and your pace and everything and just appreciate where you are. So I think it's a really good idea. I mean, trail running isn't for everybody, and I get that, but I think sometimes if you can go to somewhere scenic, it really does take your mind off your wrist. And like you said originally with treadmill, I've done a few treadmill runs myself, and just to be staring at numbers, it makes that time go 3 times as long. You know,
It's definitely not enjoyable.
So slow. Yeah, it's not.
I even tried taking the towel. See, taking a towel to the gym and putting it over and set the numbers and trying to zone out. Like, I think it worked a couple of times. But when you've got like a 15-stone guy or 14-stone guy running a treadmill, it falls off, doesn't it?
It's bang. It certainly does.
Definitely. So,
yeah.
I know you done your 3 peaks, didn't you?
Yeah.
You done your 3 peaks challenge.
About a month ago.
That was for charity, wasn't it? So I've put
it was
down in the description below. I've got, is it Maya's? I'll let you tell the story anyway, but Ryan's charity is down in the description, as well as my own charity for Fab Kids for running the marathon. So sorry, Ryan, on you go.
Yeah, my a good friend of mine, Luke, his sister's unfortunately develops like a brain tumor basically, and it's I think it's grade 4, which is really aggressive, and she's got like 12 to 18 months basically left, which is it was devastating to find out that news, to be honest. And I think if they were all better to sort of raise some money to help in those last 18 months. So what I just sort of come up with the idea, well, I don't want to set up my own page because it'll take it away from her own page. So I was sort of adding my donations direct to it, not setting a target and just seeing where we go with it. And yeah, so I planned obviously Ben Nevis, Scaffold Pike, and then Snowdon within 24 hours, which is, I mean, my first thought were, well, people hike it, so I can run it. I only have to run as fast as somebody can walk, and I'm fine, you know. But yeah, we're a whole different ball game to that. I think I slightly.
I think I caught up with you. I think I caught up with you when you were doing the live at the top of Ben Nevis, and I'm like, good luck, Ryan, and then you just coming down. But I can't even imagine how that felt, like being in that such pitch black, just environment.
Snowdon, that one.
Was that Snowdon? Is that when I caught up with you?
Yeah, that was Snowdon. I was so nervous about rolling an ankle. It was honestly, and I would done at that point, if I'm being quite honest. I mean, I'd set off obviously living in Sheffield to get to Ben Nevis, 7-hour drive or whatnot. So it were set off at 10 o'clock at night. We got there for I got there for about 5. I run up Ben Nevis and back down in 2 hours 34. I think it was. Just crazy. I'm sure that's right.
And you heard it here first. I'm just glad that's on YouTube here.
I fell over once on Ben Nevis.
Did you?
I did. I passed a lot of guys carrying bikes up, and I thought, oh, it'd be so good on way down, but I didn't fancy carrying them up. So I get them an Haribo, but it was really hard, to be honest. Yeah, always carry some Haribos.
I can imagine, like, when I did say to you, like, that's really inspiring, I honestly felt like I was sort of living it, like, and I'm like, that's just amazing. It's something I wouldn't not do. You know what I mean? These are the sort of things I like to do. Like, I like to do sporadic things that go, I can do this sort of thing now with not much planning and with much thinking.
Just no training, no planning, just literally. I mean, I completely winged it, if I'm honest with you. I got to the day before, and I thought, right, I better start plotting my routes. It was literally like that. I was so busy at work. I nipped to the supermarket day before. and that were it. I were gone straight on motorway up to
I
Scotland.
think you stopped at a service station, didn't you? And people were looking at you as if you were mental.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially coming up and down each one. I mean, I was passing people on the way up and sort of getting to the top and coming back down again. And I was seeing them way back down and they'd still not got up. And they were like, have you been to the top? I was like, yeah. And it were such a surreal experience. But I
So
lived
you do know,
like 20.
you do know, Ryan, that there's a
Sorry.
huge market for this. Like, there's a huge market for, I think it's Killian Journey. If you've read his books or watched Killian Journey, I think it is. I think that's how you say it. Killian Journey.
All right. Yeah.
This is. So have you heard of him? He's like a trail runner. I think he done Everest twice. Like fastest known times, I think FKTs or something. Although there's a lot of speculation with that, but is that something that you would end up doing? Do you think?
I think you get to a certain stage where you just think, well, what's next? You know, I need another challenge. I've sort of run like at a certain pace, and I've run like marathon distances, and so I've also done the Goggin challenge, which I will say is a really, really tough challenge. That it's a lot harder than what it first appears. And you sort of start thinking, right, well, I've done national 3 peaks. Where do I go from here? You know, you can't just keep sort of looping, your estate. I think you sort of start wanting to do more and bigger and better. And I just don't know what is next, but they'll guarantee be something next. I'll merge them together. I mean, I don't know what. I don't know what's
because
next.
There's only so far, to be fair, isn't there? Like with you being so busy and with your job and stuff, there's only really so far that you can travel to, like the peaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're limited unless you're doing a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever.
Yeah, I usually after sort of save some annual leave days we work for some like sporadic runs or whatever. I think I better get Friday in and have Monday to recover.
Go back to work for a rest. Yeah, go back to work for a rest.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, all lads always laugh at me on site. They limping around like a stone in my shoe. But it's they're all used to it by now. I've always got a story about what I did at weekend.
And that's good though. That's good. It's better than just saying, "Oh, I've got a hangover." Isn't it? Like I seen your Sheffield concert.
Yeah.
It's better than just saying you've got a hangover. You've achieved something at the weekend, and I think that's the most important thing, isn't it? You can actually say, "I done that."
Yeah, so you can, you speak to people and they'll say, "Oh yeah, sort of went to a pub or whatever," and then I think to myself like, well, I went up Ben Nevis this weekend and that type of thing. And I don't obviously say that, but that's what I think in my head, and I'm just so really like I wouldn't change a thing about.
So do you find that it makes your Monday morning less of a drag then, like getting into work and you've achieved something for the weekend?
Oh, definitely, yeah, 100%. I mean, this weekend's obviously been a bit of an anomaly. There were a festival in Sheffield, and the feeling I go to work today versus the feeling what I have when I've been for a really good trail run on a Sunday or I've done some sort of challenge at weekend is just two completely opposite ends at scale. And it's one of them things where I'd far sooner be doing that type of thing than I mean, we've all got to go and let us hair down at pub, but I love having a story to tell.
Definitely. So this is Matt Runs here. Sorry. This is Matt Runs I was telling you about with Sam just a minute ago. I hope you're good.
Yeah.
So you can go and check him out,
you
Ryan.
too, Matt.
You will enjoy it. Natalie saying, "Well done, Ryan. What a fab thing to do."
Oh.
So are you counting the Monroes then? Like seeing how you get these people that bag the Monroes? Are you actually counting the Monroes?
Do you know, I don't. It's just something else that I'll end up having to get stuck into if that's the case. I like to, I'm not a collector. I just I'll appreciate a view. So like if I've run up Snowdon, you get to the top of there and sometimes it's completely full of tourists and they're all queuing for something. And I just think, well, I don't mind not going up there and, bagging it. I can stand here and get a good view and go back down. So that's sort of sort of the thing that I do really. You know, as opposed to sort of collecting. Oh, I've ticked this off, tick this off, tick this off. I
I
don't think I've
suppose
got time to do it, if I'm honest.
That's it. You need a secretary to do that.
I do. Well, I can't deal with admin.
So I must admit, seeing that you're at the top of the peaks on Monroe's, like, it is quite inspiring, right? But I think I know how you get the footage. Obviously, I know how you get the footage, but like, do I tell everybody how you get that such epic footage at the top of the peaks?
Yeah. How do you think I get that then?
So you've got a drone, Ryan.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it off a photographer, like off at price, so it should be, and I thought, so you just don't get that sort of perspective about where you are actually stood, in certain times.
Just you might run GoPro.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't actually got a GoPro, and I really ought to. I literally just use my phone. But there's so much, there's these Instagram 360s and stuff that I've been looking at, and those type of things. But the drone, it gets, once you've climbed up that sort of that huge peak and you stood right on the summit, you fly that round you, and it looks so epic, doesn't it? Like, it's a bit geeky, I suppose, but it really it gives you a really good perspective of where you are and what you've actually achieved on that run.
Definitely, for me, that would be my point in doing it. See, just to get that up there, and I mean, like, even the thumbnail for this, we used your footage for the sunset. Like, it's just it's fabulous. Like, some of the pictures you're getting, some of the footage you're getting. I think you're getting a lot of coverage by even like the Instagram pages, aren't you? Like the trail running Instagram pages.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I get quite a lot of sort of shares of stories and posts and things like that, and the photos always seem to do really well. It's sort of become a bit of a trademark now. The stories, I add a bit of music to it and collect some really good footage and some really good pictures, and it's sort of become a bit of a trademark now. I've got to do it, and it takes a bit of editing, to be quite honest. But it's sort of, I suppose it adds another dimension to run as well, though. Yeah. Sorry,
that's why I enjoy the. That's why I enjoy like YouTube, because you can document it for your own sake. You know what I mean? It's basically what you're doing with Instagram. It's maybe just a wee bit longer, probably a wee bit more detail, just with like the thumbnails and different things. But again, it is good. It's enjoyable to do, especially when you're getting that great footage. You're like, well, for me, it's running through puddles, but for you, it's like running up and down Ben Nevis.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've never even given it a thought, YouTube, to be fair. And then when I started, when we were discussing this live, it's something that sort of, it's giving me another project to work on. It just means I've got to run them all again and collect more footage, So it's something to, it means I'll be doing 3 peaks again, but you can come with me.
I know. I'll come with you. I'll do it. Yeah. I mean, I must admit, it does take that bit of editing, but it's something else that you've got to be willing to put yourself into and immerse yourself into, fully into it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy even just with Instagram stories and reels, that aspect of being able to sort of show people where it is, and I get so many questions. Oh, where's that? And can you recommend me a route for here and there? And it really does. So it's really engaging, I think, which is what, like, running community is all about. I ask people the same questions as what people ask me. It's not just a one-way thing. You see that somebody's in some way great, and I think that looks amazing to run. Whereabouts, and you can ask them questions. You can support one another. So I think it's just one component in sort of like the running community, if you know what I mean. And if it encourages other people, then I'm more than happy to do it.
Definitely, it's really inspiring. So I was looking at some FKTs for About Me. So there is one, the West Highland Way. So have you ever thought about that?
God, I'd love,
there's 2 questions here. So
I'd love to do that.
I know, do you know that I was thinking the same, and I've got a 10 that I never used last year, so I could probably just take that. But anyways, There is one, right? So the West Island Way, I did see, and it's this guy that ran it, I think, in 23 hours. I've added him on Instagram,
Wow.
but you can check it out on like Scotland's FKTs. There also is one just heading for like Lennoxtown, and it heads over towards like for Glasgow to like Falkirk and stuff like that. And it's 26 miles long. But I think he done that. This guy done it in like I want to say like 10 hours or something like that, and it's literally hills for days now. Like, so I want to know,
crazy,
is that something you would do then? Aye.
Definitely. Scotland is. I absolutely. I'm not to say it because you're Scotch, but I love Scotland, and I've done sort of. I know Peak District like back of my hand, I know Lake District like like back of my hand as well. Obviously, we've both been close. North Wales being the same, and one area that I haven't done so much in is Scotland, to be quite honest. So. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you've got some sort of routes and stuff like that, that's obviously something what what I'd appreciate you sending me through. Because when I drove up and went through Glencoe, and I was just like, wow, this is just like peaks on steroids, basically. So it were, yeah,
As I say,
it
it's
were
like
amazing.
there's one like 13 miles to me, so I could probably run it. Right, probably do a marathon,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Run there, run up the hill, and run back, and be like an ultra. But I like it's
yeah.
definitely
So
something. Sorry, on you go.
have you ever thought about doing a bit of trail running yourself then?
So I have like obviously seeing your page and stuff like that. It's really really inspiring, and I think if I hadn't signed up for London, I would probably be in the mountains just now. Like that's probably where I would be
Do you
because
think?
after the injury, then I don't want to. People are saying to me just now, like, oh, you need to be doing more miles and stuff and that, but I don't want to push myself too much too early before I know that I'm capable for
Yeah,
it. So I think I
yeah.
would
It's a
have maybe
wise
ventured.
decision.
I think I'd have maybe ventured more into sort of the trails and driving like the 10 minutes it
Mm,
takes me to. Well, kidding on, but it takes me like half an hour to get to that trail that I was talking about, and I would maybe. I think when I was younger, I remember walking up this hill, like this peak or Monroe, whatever it is. I remember walking up it and thinking to myself, wow, this doesn't look as steep as what it actually is. And I think I would actually like
yeah,
to run it. Like, and that is that trail I was saying, just the one over to Falkirk, but it's like miles long.
yeah,
But so there's,
yeah.
so
It's
there's Ben. It says, evening,
it's.
lads.
I think if you've got you what? Sorry. Oh, evening,
So
lads. Just got in
there's
from a
Ben,
run.
evening,
Nice one,
lads,
Ben.
getting into a run. Yep. Sorry, on you go.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's definitely a wise decision. To be honest, I think sometimes you've just got to be careful with terrain. It's so easy to roll a little ankle and pick a little tweak up here and there. Especially on sort of Munros and them type runs, especially. So
Right, it's
probably a
literally
wise
like
decision, but. Yeah, it's crazy. The scree you slide all the way down. It does, but I think the more that you do it, you sort of strengthen your ankles up quite a lot. There's been so many times I've nearly done something and it sort of survived it. So it's a wise decision. But yeah, I'd love to like go on a trail run with you one time, to be honest. So
definitely.
it's
Well,
got
if
your
you're
lungs
ever
now,
coming
don't
up to
we? And
Scotland,
you're starting to feel,
aye. If you're ever
yeah.
coming
Oh,
up to
it's
Scotland, then
definitely a
definitely
plan.
give me a shout because I'm well up for
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So we've got
yeah. It's definitely.
Ben. Sorry, on you go.
Let's get Stephen to do a trail ultra.
Uh,
That's your next one there. That's your next one there, mate.
I think there's a typo there. That's supposed to say let's get Stephen and Ryan to do a trail ultra.
Yeah, he didn't mention me, did he?
I think
I
it
can
did.
sit here with my
I
coffee.
think it
Yeah,
did
right.
somewhere in there. So I've got two pairs of trainers in there. I've got Nike Pegasus 36 Trail and the Nike Terra Kyger. Probably you've seen them on
Yeah,
the YouTube videos here. But what
yeah, I have.
what
Yeah,
shoes do you run? Like I know you get the Clifton gifted to you there, didn't you? The Okas.
yeah. I've got. Yeah, they're really good for sort of like short local road runs. To be quite honest, they've got so much cushioning. So for road running, they're perfect for it. Really. I did have a pair of on running road. Which ones? I forgot which ones they were now. And the Hawkers do perform a little bit better on road, but in terms of trail, it's on Running Cloud Venture. The grip on them is just unbelievable. It's the speeds that you can actually run down a trail and not worry about your footing. It is literally unbelievable. So yeah, it's on Running all the way for me. I haven't actually tried I think it's Innovate. I don't know if you've heard of it. Innovate.
So Sam's got a pair of Innovate 8 Mudclaws.
Yeah,
I think actually the other guy Chris has got them as well. But Sam actually hasn't wore them yet. But like he wears them as slippers because he's just not done much trail yet. But like you get the claw on them's like that, isn't it?
Yeah, you like on mine, if you put your finger into it, it disappears. It's amazing. They've got like a mission grip on them as well, which sort of clamps you to rock. And I think that the way that the sole's designed, or the grip on it, is it's sort of angled, so when you're running down a hill, it stops you sliding forward. I think they're all technology and trainers nowadays really good. But it is one that I'm going to be trying. So I'd be interested to see what they think of those, actually, the Innovate ones. Like I said, the on-running ones feel like slippers to me.
That's good.
But yeah, I've always fancied trying them.
Good.
But this is what it's. Yeah, I'm going to say this is what running community is all about. I think sort of linking up with good people. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. Sorry, you're breaking up there.
Yeah.
On you go.
Yeah, sorry, bud. Yes, I think that sort of linking together in running community is really good, because you can sort of discuss, advantages of certain trainers, routes, and everything. And that's what I mean. It's sort of like linked our profiles together, and things like this happen. So it's really good. Yeah. So I'd be interested to know what Simon might think of them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sam does quite a lot of reviews on trainers as well, so you can go and check him out as well, Ryan. So we've got Ben here.
Yeah, I'll subscribe to him.
Ben's lighting up the chat, so he is. So yeah, do it together. Go on, lads. And then 100 miles
there
easy.
100.
Ben says Benny says he's heard great things about Innovate Chillflies.
Yeah. So have I, to be honest, and it's one that I keep on looking at my bank thinking, oh, shall I, shan't I? And I always push it back to next month, but I think I'll probably just end up just splashing out. I get to a certain stage, I think,
see, when you see something that you think you need, like, although you probably don't need it, you end up like, I'll just get it anyway.
Yeah, just buy it. Yeah. I always think, I've got more running and gym stuff than I have in my normal clothes. It's crazy, but yeah, it's. I'm always. I quite like it. If I see a good pair of trainers, I'm having them.
I must admit, like we said earlier, I do love the VXS stuff. It is really comfortable. Even maybe not so much for running in this hot weather, but like I wear the shorts in nearly every run. See the black, just I think 8-inch or something with the zip pocket. I wear them in nearly every run. And they're the gift that keeps on giving, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're ideal just for a gym t-shirt, like I've been, and obviously I do a bit of gym work as well. And they're ideal for that. I think in terms of running, they're probably a bit warm, but yeah, for gym work, they're a perfect brand for it, really. And I haven't actually had any of the shorts, so yeah, I'll have to try them out. To be fair, yeah.
I look into them. They're really good. They're maybe not as short as maybe you like them for like squatting and stuff like that, but. I know they're definitely good. I do recommend them.
Yeah, sound lovely stuff. Yeah. You've got to show your quads off, haven't you?
That's it. Got to be done. But I know it's been a good chat, Ryan. There's not much going on in the comments, so we'll probably just leave it there for the night.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's been lovely to speak to you.
Thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, no worries. I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this 100-mile ultra. What you're going to be signing up for? After
we'll
London.
Definitely arrange it, and then we'll get some promoting within the day before we do it.
Yeah,
about a Friday, and then Ryan can run this 100 miles tomorrow. You're like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go and do it. Yeah, I definitely won't turn it down. Yeah, so it's all on you.
Definitely. So again, Ryan's page is in the description below. And my page is in the description below. You can go over there. But if you have been watching it or you are watching this back, please leave a wee like on the thumbs up if you like me and Ryan chatting. And leave a wee note in the comments below. Don't forget that, and subscribe to the channel. So without further ado, Ryan, that was a blast, mate. We'll need to catch up again soon. I don't know if you've got anything else you want to ask me.
No, to be honest, not really. Just thanks a lot to everybody who's sort of supported me on Instagram. Everybody from running community that's on there, and yeah, long may it continue. Yeah, everyone keep inspiring, keep going.
Nice one, right, mate. I'll catch you later on then. All right.
Lovely
Cheers,
stuff.
Ryan.
Thanks ever so much for having me. Thank you very much.
Thanks again, everybody. Bye bye.
See you.